see.
Okay.
Hey everybody. Tracy Allen, living in my truth. I believe you're gonna go to something. Tracy Allen, living in my truth. Y'all, here we go with the intro. This intro was written and sang by Charnel, which is my niece. And if any of you know my sister Lena Berlin, it is her daughter, so you know she got the voice natural. You know, so she wrote this intro for me, and I really love it. I think it's perfect for this live. You know, y'all know, I had one inside of me. I told y'all it was coming. Look, I blew Bishop up. Look, I know that was tired of me on Facebook, Bishop. I had you like this.
Yeah,
I had you like this.
You sure You sure
I had you like this. Look, I wasn't playing. Yeah, I had him on Reels. I had him on Instagram. And if I knew how to do TikTok, I would have had him there too.
Wow.
Yeah, I said, yeah, they need to get up on here and hear this one. You know? Wow. People say, how you get a bishop on there? I said, I asked him.
Just ask, that's all.
I asked him. And God sent him. You know? He got love and word caring and sharing too. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all hear it every morning, every day.
Yeah.
You know, because I be on here.
Praise God. I'm glad.
You know, and sometimes I come late.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I'm not, I just share it and post it anyway. Because that's what we need. We need to keep sharing. That's what thing is for.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Y'all, that was my intro.
Beautiful.
I love it. Thanks again. Hey, Stacy Loves. They said she was going to be first.
Stacy, I know
she was going to be first.
I know Stacy
first, girl. You first.
I know Stacy.
Good right there.
Yeah, okay. I know Stacy on here.
Absolutely. Hey, nephew. Helen, y'all know I got to get it on the other side here now.
Yeah, Bishop. Hey, Dad, Bishop. Yeah, that's Stacy.
That's my girl. They said she was going to be first on this bad boy. And she is.
That don't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I can't wait either, Stacy. Because I love listening to him every day. You know, for every minute, every time that I can catch it. But a lot of times it be around my work time.
Okay.
You know, but I always catch it on the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, on the weekend.
Let's go.
What was I doing? Oh, putting this on. Yeah, y'all. Let's see if it'll work for me. Yep. Here we are. Oop, there it is.
Yeah, oop, there it is. There it is.
Them glasses, because they're going to say, Trace, where your glasses at? Because I can't almost see that, but I use this.
I can see a little bit, but not like that.
Nah, I can't see.
Not like that.
I cannot see, but I can see this one. You know, let me make sure it's down. There you go. And boom.
And Tracy got it going on here, y'all.
Ah.
You got it going on.
Yeah, I love it. They know I love it. They know I love this. You know, this is just in my heart. You know, servicing
Bless God.
my God.
Okay.
You know, so I love it. I'm going to continue to do it. Hey, Judith, how are you?
Yes,
We're going to say Breon. Breon's always there, too.
Okay.
Breon is either first or second. Ain't that right, Bre? Absolutely, Breon. Hey, Nicole. How you doing? Y'all come on, because I know y'all coming tonight with Bishop in here. I know there's going to be a lot of people on here tonight, most likely. You know, although it is every week. You know, this is our Testimony Tuesday. You know, when you can't come on Living in My Truth on Wednesday, we'll make a name up on Monday, on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Friday.
Yes, she did.
It's going to be something because you're here and you're on here, so it's going to be for the purpose. You know what I mean? And that's the the blessing of this. It's never not a day that we can't come on living in my truth, you know, or the testimony Tuesday, you know, because you bring your testimonies. Absolutely. And it's okay to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody asked me, he said, make sure you don't cuss with Bishop. I'm not going to say one bad word with the Bishop sitting here.
Y'all leave Tracy alone. Leave Tracy alone.
I'm a work in progress.
Let Tracy be Tracy.
I'm a work in progress. Hey, Marta. My bestie. Hey, Marlene. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, Marlene. Oh, yeah.
She comes on quite a lot. Yeah. And Nicole, thanks for coming on, y'all. We're gonna have an awesome night tonight. You know, I can't wait to hear what the Bishop has to say, because like I tell y'all, I don't question it. You know what I mean? We all know we're gonna talk a bit about, you know, recovery and some spirituality, you know, because recovery is definitely based off of spirituality. When Bill and Bob put it together. Okay. You know what I mean? They just give everybody an option to choose their higher power.
I understand that totally.
You know, because of the different people.
Right.
You know,
right,
so we do that. Look at that. They tearing you up. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, y'all think y'all beat me with these hearts. But I'm getting up in here. You not know, you ain't gonna make I'm up in this party, the heart party. That's what I'm talking about. I love the heart party. Wow. You know? And again, I must say, if anybody would like to donate any type of contribution or donation to the LMT Awards, I'm going to put my Cash App on here that I have for that. And if you want to send me stars to help with the content to keep this going, you know, I would appreciate that as well. You know, so I'm going to give a few more people a chance to come on, because they coming, Bishop. They coming. Jocelyn, thanks for coming on.
That's my daughter.
That's your daughter?
Lachelle.
Okay, Lachelle.
Yep, that's my daughter.
They ready for that.
There's my mother-in-law, Linda Billings. That's my mother-in-law.
There you go.
Hey,
there
Mom.
You go.
Hey, daughter.
You couldn't miss it either, right? You couldn't miss it. Let me let y'all know, I am so honored to have Bishop on here with me, because I feel as though that we need to join. You know, as believers in God.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that some look at it like, it ain't no We God's children.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And we are people too. You know, and God loves us too. You know, He's the one that helped pull us through this.
Absolutely.
You know, and I have a testimony for that. You know what I mean? And I know that He works. And I gave my life over to Him. You know, as long as I believe, I'm going to be okay.
That's right.
You know? I don't even care about what people say. You know what I mean? My whole life is up here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, you know, we learned that. You know, again, we may be the monsters that some call us, or the junkies, or the alcoholics. You know, that's just life. Life be life, and that's what society is all about. They name everything. Every drug got a name. You know what I mean? Every pill got a name. You know what I'm saying? So, we do lose ourselves, but we find ourselves as well.
Praise God.
You know,
and that's the good thing.
With the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, but first, you know, the first step is we have to surrender that our lives are totally unmanageable.
Okay.
You know, and turning our lives over to the care and the will of God. Okay. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you guys can look up the 12 steps and, you know, get into a lot of the way that we recover, because it'll help you recover from anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From anything. You know, so, hey, Trees.
Oh, there's Trees.
Hey,
sis.
That's somebody who helped me through my endeavors. Was my cousin, you know, and I look at her today and just say, you know, you got to give God the glory.
God deserves the glory.
You got to give God the glory, you know, and her sisters, you know, Michelle, you know, Keisha. I just say, look, man, look at us today. Yeah. You know, we all serving in one way or another. And her father, Levert, my cousin, he was my mentor, as well as the connection for me to find him.
Wonderful.
That's something. God sent him right in rehab.
Right.
I didn't even know he worked there.
He sent him right there.
I didn't even know he worked there. It was nice if I was up to no
God
good.
That's what God does.
I was up to
Send
no
you
good.
what you need.
Look, I was sneaking down in the basement to go meet me somebody. Right? I didn't even get past the door. He said, Tracy.
Wow.
And the crazy part about it is I automatically recognized his voice.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I creeped back. He said, come in here.
Wow.
And I'm all still crazy now.
Right.
You know, I ain't thinking about no God. I ain't thinking about no recovery.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he said, come in here. I said, what's up, LeVert? Like that, you know? He said, I'm Mr. Todd in here.
Set you straight.
I ain't your cousin in here. you gonna call me what everybody else call me. He was just straight to the point. And making a long story short, he got my attention.
Got your attention.
You know what I mean? Him and Doc Watson got my attention, and the help of my sister as well, Cheryl. And he saved my life in a whole nother way that night, because in a rehab, females have a tendency of, you know, you want to hook up with a guy, you know, because you feel unloved, and so, you know, and everybody got boyfriend, girlfriend, you don't want to be without them. And I know today that this individual that I was going to meet in that basement passed from AIDS and had it while he was there. Yeah. You know, because of confidentiality and the HIPAA law, we can't tell anybody what somebody else had. And I said, but God.
How God saved you from that.
And I was blessed in that whole era, because that's when AIDS came out.
Right.
And I never caught the disease.
To God be the glory.
Any the best?
To God be the glory.
Any the best?
Wow.
And this is just why I walk this walk. You know what I mean? And talk this talk, because all that made me know that I am somebody. Somebody love me. You know what I mean? To want to save me.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
But yeah, y'all. Y'all know me. They go Levette. They go Keisha.
There's another one of my members.
Who's that? Kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna be on here. I'm telling you.
Elder
They ain't even friends of mine, but they gonna be on this thing. They gonna find a way to get on.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
one of the mothers of my church, Elder Mom Lucy, is on. I see you, Mom
You're gonna
Lucy.
see a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, once we get down, you know, we'll go back through it.
I see y'all.
Adrian Stokes, Tara. Hey Tara, that was my last week's baby girl on the couch.
Okay.
You know, she did an awesome job.
Wonderful.
Awesome job.
Wonderful.
You know, I want to say this to you too. I need a desk. So if you can help me with a desk, I appreciate it. But we're going to get started, y'all. And I'm going to give this over to Bishop Anthony Hanna. Let's give some clap. Some stars is the claps. Let's star him up. Blast it up, everybody. Blast it up. Let him know we appreciate him being here, you know, and this is his time.
Wow.
Right now. There you go, Bishop.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is still the day. That's my signature saying.
Absolutely.
This is still the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice and be glad in it. Let me first of all say how excited I am to make it to the couch, y'all. Hey, I'm on the couch. Yes, Stacy, I'm on the couch. I heard you bragging about this couch.
Yes, she did.
I am on the couch.
Yes, she did.
I am so excited to be here. I want to thank Sister Tracy for inviting me to come and be a part of this event on tonight. Plus, I love the fact how Sister Tracy adjusted some things just for me to be on here. Because Wednesday night is usually my Bible study night. And Tracy said, look, we can do it on Tuesday and call it Testimony Tuesday. I said, well, excuse me?
Testimony Tuesday.
She said, we're going to call it Testimony Tuesday.
And if it was a Thursday, it would have been something else. I'd have thought of it.
So she switched it around, and I I appreciate it. And I appreciate her welcoming me into her beautiful home. I praise God for that tonight. I praise God for that. I was thinking about what to share with y'all, and I want to first congratulate and give kudos to Sister Tracy. I want to give kudos to her. I want to give kudos to her because she has an awesome testimony. The Lord has brought her from a long, long way.
Hallelujah.
And she is a living example of what the Apostle Peter did in the gospel. A living example. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. We all know that Peter was a follower of Jesus. He was a disciple, an apostle of Jesus Christ. But when Jesus was getting ready to be crucified, they were all sitting around the table. And Jesus said, one of you have already betrayed me. And he also said, one of you will deny me. And of course, all of them were saying, is it me, Lord? Is it me, Lord? Is it me, Lord? And the Lord pointed out Peter and said, Peter, before the cock crows, you're going to deny me 3 times. And it happened exactly like that. Wow. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Now, what does that have to do with Sister Tracy? Sister Tracy shared with me, even before we started tonight, how she had that season in her life some 40 years ago where she did what she wanted to do.
That's right.
She lived any way she wanted to live, was in her addiction or whatever, and she definitely denied God.
Yeah.
She definitely wasn't thinking about no church, wasn't thinking about God, wasn't thinking about Jesus. She denied him. But just like Peter denied him, the day that Jesus resurrected from the grave, he told the women that came and saw him, go tell my disciples and Peter. In other words, in spite of what Peter did, God still had a calling on his life. So in spite of where you were, God still had a calling on your life. And one thing that I want to share with you is that Jesus said this to Peter. He said, Peter, Satan desires to sift you like wheat. Wow. Sift you means he wanted to make you smaller than what God designed you to be. So when you were in your addiction, Satan was sifting you. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, grandmama had a silver sifter where she would put flour in the sifter. And turn it or do like this with it.
Shake it.
Right, to make the flour smaller. Okay, y'all didn't catch that. To make the flour smaller. Satan wanted to make Tracy smaller.
Wow.
But God had a plan for her. This is what he said to Peter. He said, Peter, Satan desires to have you and to sift you like wheat. Here go. But I prayed for you. Listen, when you get converted, Peter, strengthen your brethren. What's that got to do with Sister Tracy? Tracy was attacked by the enemy. The enemy was trying to sift her like wheat, make her less than what God created her to be. But Jesus prayed for Tracy.
Go ahead.
And said, Tracy, when you get yourself together, when you come out of your addiction, go and strengthen your brethren. Tracy has not only been delivered from her addiction, but she didn't go about her life doing whatever she wanted. What she did was reach back to get those who were still in addiction. Tracy has been reaching back and pulling people and encouraging people to come out of their addiction. So I want to commend you, Sister Tracy. I want to commend you. I need everybody to put hearts, thumbs, shout outs right now and congratulate Sister Tracy and celebrate Sister Tracy that she has reached back to grab others to say, if God did it for me,
that's right,
then he can do the same thing for them.
That's right.
So I wanted to begin
Thank you.
by congratulating you, commending you,
Thank you.
patting you on your back if I can,
Absolutely.
to let you know that you're doing a fantabulous job.
Thank you so much.
You are doing what God requires of us.
That's right.
God requires us to, when he brings us out, to go and get somebody else.
That's right.
Don't leave them in their addiction. And you know they're in their addiction, and you won't leave them there. You were with them when you were smoking. You were with them when you were drinking. You were with them when you were partying. And now God delivered you. Then you have the responsibility, saints, to go and help somebody else.
That's right.
And Sister Tracy is doing that. So come on, y'all. Let's take a couple of minutes and a couple of seconds and commend her. And commend her. I want to encourage her to keep it going. Keep it going, sis. Keep it happening, sis. Keep working it, sis. Can y'all type that for me? Somebody type, keep working it, sis. Keep doing it, sis.
He ready to have me start shouting up in this man.
Keep doing it. I am so excited about how the Lord is using her in such a great way. So I wanted to start it off like that.
And I want to say to you that it has never been, I've never had a conversation like this with anybody.
Wow.
You know, so I know God is working on me.
Wow.
I know he brought you here.
Wow.
When I called that number, he said, what's the date? All he said was, what day? What date? You know, but to hear you say those things about me and then bringing it from the Bible, you know, I shared with Bishop that I'm not good with the Bible, you know, as well as I am with my literatures and my 12 steps and all, but I'm trying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he gave me something to look up and read just to help me start how to read the Bible. I understand all of that because I'm a good listener.
Good.
You know what I mean? Once I get going, I'm going.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But to hear that and to hear how you share that, you know, is basically the same way I share with them. You know, my way. You know what I'm saying? And my language.
Right.
Put it that way.
Right.
You know, and the language of a lot of us recovering addicts do understand.
Right.
You know, I'm not powerful like that with words, but I get my word across. And
you know what I want you to do? I want you to stop saying you're not powerful with your words because you are powerful with your words. How do I know that? You are talking the language of those that been where you were.
Right.
And walking the same path that you're walking. The Bible even tells us with the Apostle Paul. Now, y'all gonna make me preach tonight.
I want to hear it.
The Bible also says that Apostle Paul said, I become whatever to win those. In other words, if I need to talk your language in order to bring you up to where you need to be, then that's what I'll do. I taught school for 33 years. And I always told principals that I worked for, listen, we have to meet children where they are.
That's right.
Meet them where they are.
That's right.
And bring them up to where they need to be. Why am I sharing that? Tracy is meeting people where they are.
Exactly.
Talking the language that they understand. So therefore, once she talks their language and gets their attention, then you can bring them up.
That's right.
But you can't come in all haughty thinking you got it all together, you all this and all that. Because then as soon as you come like that, a barrier comes up. And the person no longer is listening to you. Because he's coming off like you all that and a bag of nothing.
Well, that's how I was at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't be telling me what I got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to know who you talking to. They had me just like this. They said, Doc Watson, well, he ain't played.
Right.
He ain't come from the bottom. He came from the street. My language.
So that's what got your attention.
And that's what
your
got
language.
my attention. You took the words right out of my mouth, my language, what I do, you know, where I'm from. You couldn't talk to me like this.
That's right.
Because I wouldn't want to hear that.
Wouldn't want to hear that.
You know what I mean? So that's how I do with my clients as well, Bishop. I talk to them in the language they understand, but in a caring way.
That's so important.
You know what I'm saying? So important.
So
I don't come at them. I don't make them feel less of anything.
Right.
I tell them I'm just like you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I tell them my story. I tell them where I'm walking today.
That's right.
You know, and I get a lot of respect.
That's right.
Ever since I've been a drug
and that's how you do it. And
that's how I know how to do it.
That's how you do it.
You know, that's the way I got it. You know, and I just can't see them as anything other than my brother and sister.
Right.
As a human being.
Right.
With a monster.
Right.
That we have to recognize inside.
Right.
You know, so.
And you're doing it just like Jesus did. Jesus met the people where they were. He got criticized for meeting people where they were.
That's crazy. I do too. Like in the system, yeah.
But you want to write track.
You want to write track. But it's helping. You know what I'm saying? But it's helping them.
Right.
Not the masters and all the degrees and all that stuff. Just coming from being just like them, coming from where they are, meeting them where they're at.
Right.
You know, instead of acting like I'm high and above from them. Because I know I'm not.
Right.
I know I'm an addict and I'm always be an addict. And some people don't understand why we say that.
Right.
But that's because we have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? For us.
Right.
You know, but I'm not going to ever be like, you know, oh, wow, they this and they that and this, you know, nix them. They not going to do this. No, I'm going to always encourage.
Right.
I'm going to always try to encourage the best way that I possibly can because they're just lost right now. We just get lost in that tunnel I always talk about, Bishop.
Right.
You know, we can see the hole to get out. It's just a storm that stops us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we lose all emotions and we lose all of our brain control, you know? And a lot of people just don't want to believe that or can't see that, you know, but you're looking at it.
Right.
You know, it's living truth. I just love what I'm doing and I appreciate everything you're saying because I feel blessed.
Good.
You know, from him, from my God.
Right.
You know, in spite of what anybody else thinks. You know, because it don't faze me. To be honest with you, it don't faze me at all what somebody else think. I don't care. You know, I'm still growing. You know what I'm saying?
And we all are.
I'm still growing.
We all are.
You know what I'm saying? And I still have a lot of change to do. You know what I mean? Because change is what keeps me right. You know, and my thinking right, and allowing the process that I work, you know, to work the way that it should. You know, like tonight, you don't know how much you just put in me. You know what I'm saying? Just everything you said, you know, because I'm open. You know, and I need to hear this sometimes. I really do. And I need to know that people of your status, you know, in the religions and everything understands this and is willing to help with this.
Totally.
You know, because you putting so much out here for the people.
Wow.
That is just like boom, like the wars out there can't touch this right here. I'm telling you, man, because he kicking some bombs out here for me. I'm telling you, y'all know I get to moving and you know all that kind of stuff. That's just the glory, you know, the God and all that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I was telling you that I didn't have like a church family, and I talked to my cousin about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to learn, you know, and to change things in me to see and understand it how I should be understanding why there's a church house. I wouldn't care about people in there either. Not care, but you know, negativity and you know, craziness because it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and that's one of the things that turned me off from it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Especially in my addiction, they didn't even want you around. You know what I mean? They made you feel like nothing. Wow. You know, instead of opening the door and praying over you or something. You know, that's what we look for when we down like that and we go into the churches.
Right.
You know, we just be trying to find God and help too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we call disease the behaviors of other people. It comes through people, places, and things, and disease is always there, always around, and never going anywhere. So it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's funny you say that. I want to first of all, well, not first of all, but as a response to what you just said, I want to apologize for the church for treating you like that. Because, and I'm not bragging or boasting, but when we were on 3rd and Lamoken, when I first came to St. Mark 34 years ago, we were on the corner of 3rd and Lamoken. And I had something called the Help Somebody's Kitchen. And every Wednesday, the people off the street would come to the church. I'd give them a little Bible study, and then I would feed them. Now, sometimes they would come in, Sister Tracy, high, lit, falling asleep while I'm talking, but I let them come in.
Beautiful.
And I let them feel that love.
Beautiful.
And I fed them.
And they appreciate it.
And they appreciated that. And so people the church needs to understand that that's one of our main goals, is to reach those that are lost and to make them feel welcome. But churches not making them feel welcome is not nothing new. A lot of you know the story of the 10 lepers, where the 10 lepers were ostracized because of their disease. Because of their disease.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they were put in, the Bible says they were put in a certain village. They didn't even give the village a name.
Wow.
Because they had that disease. They ostracized leprosy. That's correct.
See, I can remember certain stuff.
You got it. They had leprosy. But the Bible says that Jesus went to where they were.
Yeah.
He went right to where they were. There was another episode in the gospel where a man had leprosy and the church ostracized him. But Jesus went right to him and invited him in the church and touched him. Back in the biblical days, you weren't allowed to touch somebody that had leprosy.
Right.
It was unclean.
Unclean. Yeah.
But Jesus went on and touched him and healed him. That's what the church should be doing. We should allow those who have those addictions, who have those problems, to come into the church. And if the truth be told, I'm going to put y'all right on Front Street. If the truth be told, everybody in the church got some type of addiction.
That's right.
It may not be alcohol.
That's right.
It may not be drugs. But we have some type of addiction. And if I'm correct, help me, Sister Tracy, addiction is addiction.
Addiction is addiction.
Whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs,
cigarettes, food,
sex,
shopping. Coming soon too. I got some people who sit on this couch about that addiction of shopping.
That's right. There are all types of addictions. All of us are dealing with something. And so therefore we shouldn't ostracize people who have a drug addiction or alcohol addiction. There have been many times, especially when we were on 3rd Street. We were on Lamoken and we were on the corner of 3rd and Lamoken. People would come in and we would let them come in.
Beautiful.
Just like they were. Come on in.
Beautiful.
Come on in. Because, but for the grace of God, we could be in the same predicament.
That's right.
I'll never forget, one time we had a young lady come in. Sister Tracy, all she had on was a shirt. And she was completely naked under the shirt. And my wife nicely took her by the hand, took her to the back. We found her some clothes, put the clothes on her, and let her come in and sit in the worship experience.
Beautiful.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You saved her life that
day. Yeah, I know we did.
You saved her life that day.
I know we did.
We can come in, we can smell, we can look bad, we look crazy, because that's what drugs do.
Right.
That's what poison does to you.
Right.
You can't look normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It turns you into the quote unquote what they call monster junkies, alcoholics.
Okay.
Because we all look alike. Heroin users look like them. Smoking a pipe, they look like them. You know what I mean? Pill poppers look like them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But all of them look crazy. Alcoholics look like alcoholics.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it disform us and disfigure us because our minds and our emotions are no longer existing. We can't feel anything. The first thing drug addiction does, is snatches your emotions out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you don't feel nothing.
Okay.
So that's how we become like, whatever, man, F you, you know, that's all right, I'll do that, and we start stealing and we start lying. When we lie, we become the lie. We live the lie. We just lie. We don't know what truth is anymore. So these are the things that was nourished in the 12 steps, you know, to help us to find all these things again. And then the brain is like broke all up into little pieces like a puzzle, and now you got to sit still to try to put the pieces back where they supposed to be. You know what I mean? And that's not easy. It's very hard when your emotions is not connected with your thinking. You know what I'm saying? So that's our problem. That's what causes us to not know, to not feel, to not want, to not do. You know what I mean? And then we don't care about self, because what it does is nothing but the devil. It's all the devil. You know, we call it disease, but disease is the devil. You know what I'm saying? It is the devil. And then it just pulls it all out of you. You ever see the predator, how they just pull the bones right out them? That's what disease does, is a predator. It just takes you and it rips you of everything. And then you're like loose, and the only thing that you know, like a zombie, and you do is whatever it tells you to do to feed it. The drug or the alcohol. You can't, you don't even remember what life used to be. You feel me? Yep. You know, that no longer exists, because this is my life now. Because I'm lifeless. That's what it did to you first. It took all of that. That's why I took control of this. And we know one can't work without the other.
That's right.
One can't work without the other. I mean, it's a powerful program that I live by, you know, and hearing you preach and hearing you say things. That's why I connect with you guys, because like my cousin Patrice, you know, Rashida's good as well. You know what I mean? It's quite a few, but the ones that I do catch, Edwina, you know, my sister. I mean, y'all give it to me the way I need to hear it. You know, I can't go into the Bible that I had. I'm reading Forithith and I'm like, well, I'm out of it. I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta connect you
guys and all of that.
We gotta connect her to an easy read version.
Yeah, we do, because I was like, I can't even get past the introduction. You know,
with the D's
and the dies. I'm like, what the heck? How could you talk? You know, I can't do that part. You know, I'm not gonna say I can't do it. I'm just not into it. But it doesn't touch me. It turns me away from it.
It does mess you up. That's why I thank God for the other versions. It's an easy read version. There's one that's very good called the Message version. There's another one that I just recently came in contact with over the last maybe 5 or 6 months called the Passion Translation. Wow. And they all read real plain. So you
that's me. That's what I mean. Because me, I'm the type of man, you can give me the video. Give me the video. I'm a hands-on. You know what I mean? I can hear real well. I learned how to hear. You know, to listen. I learned how to do that. My addiction. You know what I mean? Taught me that. Okay. So, because that was something I wouldn't do, and you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? So it also teaches you how to listen so that you can hear, and I share that all the time. And then I'm able to see. You know what I mean? But I know that I have to have it personal with him, you know, even though it's my way, but it works for me. You know, it works for me. It works for a lot of us. And as you were saying, like, you know, when we couldn't come into, I was telling you, you know, when you go into anywhere and they neglect you, you know what I mean? Especially the church, you know, because everybody, you know, at the minute, you may say you don't believe in God, but you be looking for him. You best believe, you best know that. And then there's some that's so damaged that don't, you know, because of the disappointments they feel as though God did. Because that's what I felt. You know what I mean? Some just, you know, disease is so cunning, baffling, and powerful to make you just hate. Because you hate your life. You hate yourself. You know what I mean? So those are power words for us when we're sick. You know what I mean? We feel like nothing. You know what I mean? And then when people treat you like nothing, it causes hate, it causes anger, it causes resentment. You know, people don't know they do this to people like us. You know, they don't realize that when they say certain things, especially when a person is trying to get clean and trying to get better. It ain't like, okay, I'm going to get clean. Boom.
I learned that.
It's a process.
I learned that.
And it takes work. It's a process. It's a long process. I'm still working the process. It don't matter how many years you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm still working the process too. You know, because it's hard.
Right.
It's really hard. You know, and we have a place where we go that's like the church. It's called NAA, CA. You know, all these places. Al-Anon. You know what I mean? All these places is part of the process of how Bill and Bob put things together, where we can go share and speak and be heard and listened to, whether or not we stink, whether or not we, you know, the newcomer that walks in the door, we all gravitate to the newcomer and welcome. You know what I mean? So when you go into a place and they're saying this is a place of God, and you got all these people, you know what I mean, don't even want you to come in the door. You know what I mean? And it's like it leaves us with no hope. No hope. I hear that a lot.
I really apologize for the church because we got it twisted, saints. We are supposed to welcome everybody, but for the grace of God.
That's right. That's recovering. That's our favorite thing. But for the grace of God.
For the grace of
but
God.
for the grace of God. You know, but it's just people.
Right.
It's people in places doing things.
Right.
You know, that's how we look at it. It even teaches us how to respect that. You know what I mean? And pray for people like that. You know, today I pray for everybody.
Right.
Back in the day, I fight everybody. Didn't make a difference. Win or lose.
Right. You gonna
Win
fight.
or lose. And I was good with the mouth too, with that cussing. Oh my God, vicious with it. And I'm still working on that. It's a process. I'm just letting everybody know. You know what I mean? I don't walk around like I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got some thinking and some issues to take care of. You know, but one thing I don't do, I don't kill myself anymore with the power of disease. You know, I have become aware of it. And the stronger you get, the stronger it tries to get. You know what I mean? So that's why I tell everybody it's like it's a cancer. It's just in remission right now. I have it in remission because we don't. And I made that up, but that's what I feel. You follow what I'm saying?
Is good.
That's what I feel because I know how powerful, how cunning, and how baffling it is.
That is
you
good.
know, and there's people out there who was in worse condition than me. You know what I mean? And I've seen that through all my years of being a drug and alcohol counselor, as well as an addict. You know, just loving on people though. You know what I mean? Trying to help people. You find I learned so much, and God blessed me from the very beginning when I surrendered. You know, I was at Better House. You ever heard of Better House over in Crozier? Better House was Crozier Chester Medical Center's rehab. And that's the rehab that brought me back. You know, in human being form. You know, and gave me what I needed, you know, to know that I am somebody and God loves me. And I shared for them every Wednesday and Saturday when I got out. You know what I mean? And they end up John Reed. That's where John Reed comes in at. You know, we just lost John Reed. John Reed and Doc and Levert all put me in a position to be a PRN counselor. You know, and I've been doing it ever since. You know what I'm saying? And I never give it up. The only time I did is because Crozier was a learning school. So Crozier used to be a learning school, and when they shut the rehab down, they gave us opportunities to go in other departments. So I learned how to be a nurse's assistant and in security. You know, but then that wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
I came right back to
what
this.
You're doing now.
Yes, and I've never came back out ever since. You know, because it helps me to stay strong. It's my medication too. You know, so being amongst, you know, the still suffering addicts and alcoholics is a piece of medication that I need every day. You know what I mean? Because it keeps me believing. It keeps me caring. It keeps me able to say no. As well as I giving what I have to help others to learn how to say that one word, two letter, one syllable, no. And it's that simple. And the program teaches us that in the 12 steps that this if we follow these 12 steps in our Narcotics or Alcoholic Anonymous, that it will help us to live a normal lifestyle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And but without the religious base, I don't know how any other way it could have worked. You know what I mean? So that's what draws me closer to my religion. Right. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said it like that. Let me say this before I respond to what Sister Tracy just said. I'm on here learning. You are teaching me because I know about addiction. I've never been drug addicted or alcohol addicted. I've been around it. I've ministered to people who had that problem or whatever and helped bring them out. So I know a little bit, but you are educating me on some things that I did not know. The way you're breaking it down about what this disease,
how it works.
does. Yeah. And I love the 12-step program where you just said, without the religious base, you don't know where you will
I don't think this will work.
And I'm so glad to say that, because that leads me to this. That in order to work the 12 steps, in order to stay recovered, or as you put it, in remission, there's some things that you got to do, y'all. And one thing is you got to keep speaking life.
That's right.
You got to not talk defeat.
That's right.
You got to always talk positive.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, the Bible says that life and death is in the power of your tongue. So what you speak and what you say over yourself is very important. You can speak life or you can speak death. So even though your addiction is in remission, you got to keep speaking life.
That's right.
Along with the 12. I love these programs. 12 steps. I love these programs. The Alcoholic Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, everybody coming together.
Without it,
I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent. But add the piece, the spiritual piece, like she just said. You can do that.
We need to do this again.
You need to do that, but you need to add that spiritual piece to it. You got to speak life. You got to speak over yourself. Matter of fact, I preached a sermon Sunday afternoon in Jersey entitled "Talk to Yourself."
Go ahead.
Talk to yourself.
Because that's what it tells us.
Yep, you got to talk to yourself.
It tells us the same thing.
You got to speak over yourself.
And it's not a thing where we talk to ourselves and we be crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? We talk
That's
to
exactly
ourselves
what I
because
said.
we need to be heard.
That's
we
right.
got to hear ourselves. You know?
That's
and
right.
disease is part of ourselves.
That's right.
It's just another conscious craziness in your brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So is you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we call it the disease because it's so uncontrollable. You know, and it's so aggressive.
Right.
You know what I mean? That it takes you from yourself. Like I got lupus. Okay? And lupus took over my immune system. It's just an aggressive disease.
Right.
It just came in out of nowhere and just snatched it.
Right.
And I dropped lifeless.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And now that I'm learning and studying and getting certain, medication. I'm not about all that medication like that either, Bishop. You got to pray for me on that too, because see, doctors is your worst dealers. I'm going to say it again.
She called them dealers.
Doctors is your worst dealers.
She called them dealers.
They control all drugs. They make them too. All the surgeons and all of them. I learned a lot in my recovery, Bishop. I learned a lot in my recovery. I'm telling you, God is the best. You hear what I'm saying? He is the best. He brought this brain back in good shape. But now there are other diseases that's trying to snatch me, because my disease, which is the devil, is hating on me. You know what I mean? Because I'm helping people. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to do that.
I'm helping people. And my cousin told me that, and I said, you know what? That's what I feel like. My cousin Patrice told me that. Because It was like, it was just meant for me to hear it.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm good on hands-on. You ain't got to give me no books. You ain't got to give me no big books all like this. Give me the video.
Here I go.
Or do this.
I'm getting ready to take a biblical character again and compare it to Tracy, what she just said. David, where I preached from Sunday afternoon, David in 1 Samuel chapter 30, he had lost his wives, his children, along with his other friends who lost their wives and their children. Their city was burned with fire, and they blamed him. They blamed him to the point that they were thinking about stoning him. Tracy just said, I'm trying to help people, and it seems like I'm being attacked. That's just how it happens. Because the enemy is so sick and tired of us helping each other.
Yeah.
And so therefore he's going to attack. And so they were getting ready to stone David, and the Bible says that David was greatly distressed. He was greatly distressed. But then it says, but he encouraged himself in the Lord his God. Remember I said earlier about speaking life.
Yeah.
Keep speaking life. Talk to yourself. Talk yourself through. And keep speaking positive. And like you said, that's one of the 12 steps, ain't it?
It's part of our steps.
It's part of the 12 steps. So you got to keep talking to yourself and talk positive.
Yeah.
This woman of God, that's what I'm going to call her, y'all. That's right. This woman of God is a living example of what God is telling us to do. And y'all need to listen. Y'all really need to listen. This is good.
Yeah, I think everybody that is like me, you know, somebody, and we say that in recovery, somebody got clean for me. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Somebody got clean for me, you know, because they helped me get clean.
I like that.
You know? So that's look, we get it in, Bishop. We get it in, you know what I mean?
And that's a biblical principle, y'all, that she just said.
Our understanding. So, you know, when I finally understood that, it's like, wow, because I got clean, now I can help people get clean. You know, and that's all God asks us to do, is to help the still suffering.
Absolutely.
You know, help the still suffering. So our quote-unquote church is NA, AA, you know what I'm saying? And you can come in there at any time and not be judged, like you shouldn't be in church. You know what I mean? You hear stories and testimonies and all that like you do in church. You know what I'm saying? And people help people.
Right.
You know, and we were some people that never help people.
Wow.
You know? So in there you're going to get all that love. You're going to get all that, you know, attention, you know, that you need, and to let you know, Bishop, in those rooms, the stories
I can imagine.
people tell.
I can imagine.
Was talking about me and everything I did in my addiction.
I can imagine.
Because disease doesn't discriminate. It treats nobody different. You might do different drugs, you know, you might drink, you know, but the disease concept of it is exactly the same. And the mission to kill you is exactly the same. That does not change. You know what I mean? So that's why when we get clean, getting clean off the drug is one part of it. But now we got to clean the brain, which is the main part of it, to keep you off the drug, you know, and change your whole life around to a safe-bound place. You know what I mean? So it give us these things to go to help us do that. And a lot of people go to church. Right. My sister Lena went straight through church and she stayed clean. Okay. You know, what worked for me didn't work for her. But when I learned what I learned, I felt like this is what everybody had to do because I wanted to help people so bad. Okay. You know what I mean? But we're all different.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're all different. So that sometimes make people look at it like, you know, well, I know such and such, she didn't do that, or she didn't go to that, or they didn't go to that. Well, what works for one may not work for the next. And these are the things that we learn. Right. You know what I mean? To be able to deal with people's, you know, way of thinking on how this doesn't matter. Right. You know what I mean? But we gain strength. You know, they teach us to gain strength in ourselves. You know, because we come first.
Right.
You know, first God, then me. You know what I mean? No other way. First God, then me. You know, and he powered me up. You know what I'm saying? And allowed me to learn allow us to learn how to listen so we can hear. Because that's something that we don't do well, even if you don't do drugs. Even if you don't do drugs. Some of us just don't know how to listen. The first thing is, I can't get a word out. You follow what I'm saying? But it teaches us discipline. And it teaches us how to listen. And then we're able to hear. And then we'll go to the next level. Now we see. You know, which now we got it. And we live it. You know? But never do anyone or anybody comes before God. Our higher power. We call him higher power. You know? So it's just like, to me, same thing that you teach.
Absolutely.
You know?
This is all coincide with one another, but I do want to encourage you. I wouldn't be a good pastor if I didn't encourage you at this point. I want to encourage you to, along with your NA meetings, along with your AA meetings, find yourself a good church. Find yourself a good church. Because along with the principles that you're following, along with the steps that you're following, along with the encouragement that you're getting from these meetings, you also need the spiritual part. You need to be fed the Word of God. So I want to encourage you to find a church. Find a church. And I hate to say this, but there's so many churches in Chester you can choose from. I mean, there's a whole lot of them that you can choose from. Or it doesn't have to be in Chester. Wherever you feel comfortable in going, you need to find a church because you need that spiritual part. You need that pouring in of the Word into your spirit to continue to help with your addiction. All right?
I hear you.
So I want to encourage everybody to do that. All right? And when you go, my members who are on here can tell you, I say this all the time. When you come into the house, don't look at the people. Don't concentrate on the people. Because if you concentrate on the people will discourage you. Some people are just discouraging. But you keep your eyes on Him and come to the house of God and get what you need. Get what you need, because there's all types of people everywhere. There's crazy folk in the ShopRite. There's crazy folk in the Walmart, but we go. We don't allow those crazy people to stop us from going to ShopRite, to stop us from going to Walmart, from going where we want to go. Excuse me. We don't allow them to stop us. You have to have that same attitude when it comes to coming to church and going to the house of God. So find a church home. I really want to encourage you to do that. To find a church home.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go through some of these these statements and questions a little bit.
Boy, I see a lot of our people members on here.
Look, you done blew this thing up. You done blew the whole
I see
thing
you,
up.
Dr. Donna. I see you, Sister Nisi.
I'm gonna try to go up as far as I can. This thing will allow me to. Okay, Erica, thank you for being on. She's saying hello to visit. This is Edwina Bell. She was one of the honorees of Living in
Okay. Hey, Edwina.
She said all humans are ill.
That's right. We all are.
That's right.
We all got something.
And Denise Jackson, thank you too for being on.
She's a member of our church.
Ev,
hey Ev.
See that? I'm just gonna take our time. They're gonna lend a billion.
Yeah, that's my mother-in-law.
Uh-oh.
That's my mom.
Okay. Angela McKinney.
Oh, hey, Angie.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Miss Stacy Love.
Yeah.
Lucy Washington.
Yep, that's one of the mothers of our church. Donna Rivas, that's one of the members of our church. Dr. Donna. Yep.
Awesome.
And she's right. No judgment at the cathedral where we go.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. I think I done knocked the thing out of where when I done took it off.
Angie McKinney. I don't mean to shout you out there, Angie, but Angie McKinney.
Shout her out. That's my bestie.
Angie McKinney's mom, Miss Jessie, was a faithful member of our. Oh, I love me some Miss Jessie. You couldn't talk about Anthony Hannah to Miss Jessie. She will fight you. Oh, I love that. Miss Jessie. Oh, my goodness.
Angie told me about that. Hey, Quenisha, how you doing?
I think I know her, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be surprised. You might see her on the couch.
All right.
That's right. Victoria Carter.
Hey, Victoria, Evangelist Victoria.
Need her too.
Come on, Nikki. It's comfortable on the couch.
Right here. It says, yup, drugs and alcohol is the only addiction. And that's a fact.
That's right.
That's true. In fact, my cousin, Anita.
Okay. Hello, Anita.
Denise Jackson.
Yep. That's one of our members.
Who else? There's Edwina. I got to move a little bit more. They work so funny apart. Like this one keep rolling.
It does.
But this one will stop at a certain point and you can't do nothing wrong. And you see, I done hit it off about 7 times.
You done texted and unraced some of it. She done messed up some of it, y'all. But we see y'all. We see y'all.
Woo!
Tracy working it though, y'all. I'm telling you. I feel like I'm in a studio.
That's right. With my little 2 things. We get it in though, don't we?
She's working it.
So that's God.
Yeah, she's working it.
I don't know how to do any of this, but it's working.
She working.
And I'm learning. I'm learning in my pace, you know. So anybody who can help me, I am more than willing to please come on in and show me how to do some things. You know what I'm saying?
She gonna make me order this light ring for my mornings in the Word. I like that light.
I got small. I give you.
Okay, I need one of them.
Yeah, that they say we need that for the.
I can see.
Yeah, that you see the difference.
You see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference.
In the camera. Yeah, we young bucks. I mean, we new to this stuff.
But you doing it. She's doing it, y'all.
We doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just get on here, you know? And that's how I woke up one day and just did. I just got on here.
Got on here.
Yeah, and it just went where God said it's supposed to go.
Wow.
You know, and I really appreciate all of you who steady, you know, come on every week. We're going on year 2, y'all. Year 2. You know, I'm going to send some hearts out there to you because I really thank you. Thank you so much. It's going on year 2. And I put a flyer up for the next LMT award. It's going to be in June. So I put up you can get your tickets early. You can get them now. You know what I mean? If you choose to. So it'll be more information coming out about that too. Okay. You know, because last year we had a full house. And
yes,
it was beautiful.
Yes, you sure did.
Bishop was there.
I was there.
Yeah,
yes,
it was beautiful.
It was full.
And the soul in there and the environment of people was just beautiful. Yeah. You know, the entertainment, you know, everything.
And the testimonies that were shared.
Oh, wasn't the testimonies?
The testimonies that were shared.
Yes, indeed.
Was wonderful.
Yes, indeed. And people feel good. I mean, you feel so good and uplifted in yourself. You know, and when you become a recovering addict or alcoholic, so why not be awarded?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why not feel good and have something to make you feel even greater about yourself? Right. Something that you earned.
Right.
Come on this couch. You'll be the next one.
She got me on here, y'all. She got me on this couch.
You'll be the next one. But, you know, and I like to give from my heart, you know, and what I see. You know, so the awards that I gave people was what I saw in them. You know, as well as now. I'm not into the trophies and all the other stuff. I want you to have something that you're going to want.
That was unique. I remember that now that you said that. I remember how you gave them according to how you felt about them or how they did what they did. I remember that.
That's right. So it's all meaning, a lot of meaning and love put into this. You know, I am nonprofit, you know, and it's just in my heart just to keep it going. And with the help of some of you, I know we all going through, you know, a thing with high prices for everything, you know, but if you can donate $1, that's great. Every little dime helps. And if you send stars on here, that also will help me to keep my what is it called? Monetize the program and keep it up. That's what all that's for.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you have to get to certain levels with the amount of people that comes on here for you.
Okay.
You know, I still got one more to get to, and that one is to get like commercials to come through for you, and you know, you just rising up, but you have to earn them. You know, a lot of people think, yeah, Facebook gonna pay you. It ain't about that for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, but you gotta pay them before they gonna pay you.
Yeah,
and you gotta pay them along while they paying you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't think anything is free, because it's not.
I did see
that.
I did
and
see
it's
that.
not like just like that. You know, then they'll say, nah, you got to go on TikTok and you got to do all this. All of them is 3 different things, you know, and you're going to pay before you get on any of them.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't mind doing that, but I'm going to take my live, living in my truth, one day at a time. You know what I mean? And I'm not hungry for all of that.
That's the way to do it.
You know what I mean? I'm hungry for the LNMT Awards. You know, that's something that I know where it's all coming from. You know what I mean? And what the purpose and the people coming into that. It's not about that, you know, making the money and all that stuff like that. But we do need for you to send stars, you know, because I get hundreds of people on here, you know, and I'm just saying it has something with getting the stars. You know, people don't want to put their cards and everything on here, and I understand that, because I'm one of them kind of people when it comes to certain things. You know, but so far it's been good for me, because I put enough in mine so I can send you stars, and you know, whoever I'm watching stars. You know what I'm saying? You know, because they add up. Stars start from 20 cents.
Oh, okay.
You know, then it'd be 50 cents. Then it'd be $1, but you get like 100 stars, 50 stars, 20 stars. You go to the 5, you get 1,000 stars, and all that is building your, helping you with your the monetary part of it. It helps with everything, and then you start getting those, reaching those levels.
Okay, I've seen people put stars, give me stars.
But see, people will put stars on there. That's not the stars you're talking about.
Okay.
The stars you're talking about, let me show you. I'm going to give myself a star. See that?
I see that, yeah.
You hit that.
Okay.
And it's going to take you here.
Got you.
You see?
Got you.
And then if I hit myself 50 cents, send, you get a check to show that you are a star sender.
A star sender. Okay.
So watch when it pops up on here. It'll pop up with my name and a check on the side, and it's going to tell you the star that you sent.
I think I saw that a couple of times.
Yeah, I send them to you. I send them to you all the time.
I did see that.
When I'm on, I send them to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what helps the momentum of your page, your live.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know, so that's the importance of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I'm really getting that money. You know what I mean? We paying Facebook is what you're really doing. You know, even though they give you the money, but if you look at the logic of it, you gotta pay to get.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So those stars add up, and that's where you start seeing 8,962 people watch this or saw this and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn.
Okay.
I'm starting to learn, you know what I mean? You know, but I send Living in My Truth Cash App on, you know, because that, you know, people feel a little bit more comfortable that way, you know, and it doesn't matter to me, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1, or whatever. Every little counts, you know, because it costs to do what I do.
Do what you do.
You know, and even though I know I'll do well with tickets, you know, and that also pays for it. So I'm not making a profit from it. It's paying for what we do, what we gonna do, yeah. You know, until it hits a little, you know, bigger one day. You know what I'm saying? You know? They say, well, how come, Tracy, you be dressing? How come you don't dress? Because I ain't Oprah. I ain't trying to be Oprah. You know what I mean? I ain't none of them. You know what I mean? I'm Tracy Allen, living in the truth, authentically. You know what I mean? And I'm comfortable. Don't forget about the t-shirts, y'all. Y'all know I still got the t-shirts. They're only $10. Y'all can get one. You follow, all these are the original ones. I do have a new design ones that will be at the show, and I will be showing soon. You know, will be the new ones. So these are only $10 now. So you guys can get one. They come in black, white. I think I got yellow, green, a couple different colors. But I also have other emblems as well.
Okay.
That'll go on. I'm gonna give you one before you leave.
Okay. I appreciate that.
But let me tell y'all something. Tonight was not only just living in my truth, it was church.
Can't help it, y'all. I can't help it. I can't help it.
That's one thing I knew it was going to be, though.
Tracy knew when she invited me.
I sure did, because y'all know I do everything for a reason.
She knew.
But you put the message out, and I hope others is watching,
right.
You know, so they may want to come on the couch. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And let's get together and try to help these people more and understand
Absolutely.
them. You know what I mean? Because we need it.
Absolutely.
You know, we need it. And from you guys, too. You know, instead of, you know, looking at them like they nothing or talk about them like they don't exist, you know, because what you see they are existing of today, you know, it's still somebody's mother, father, sister, brother, child inside that body.
That's right.
You know, their minds is just controlled at this point from a poison, a substance. And that's what it's due, called disease. Right. And their life right now is at dis-ease. And I do D-I-S with slash E-A-S-E with that because they have to learn how to understand what they have. And then when they start learning how to understand what they have, that slash goes away. Right. You know, and then it becomes right here and right here. Right. And we can put it in remission. You know, so this is a lifelong self-inflicted disease, and that's another thing, Bishop, that people don't understand. They just wanted to get high, and that's what they get. That's what it's done. Well, that's what it is. It's not lupus. I didn't ask for lupus.
Right.
You know what I mean? But lupus jumped right on in on its own.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Now, cocaine, I invited.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? I invited this, not thinking that it would do to me what I seen it did to others. You follow what I'm saying?
I got this handle.
I got this. I'll never let that happen to me. You know, not Tracy. Not Tracy Allen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And right after that, it happened. You know, and gave me some years to suffer with snorting cocaine. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't even know I snorted cocaine. As much as cocaine as I snorted. You know, but when I learned to smoke it, the first hit, I was addicted. I just didn't know I was addicted. I didn't know that I was going to go through all of what I went through. The feeling was so beautiful, Bishop. It was just like, whoa, what the heck I've been doing? I've been missing this. Right. I promise you, never did I feel it twice. My chase for that hit went on and on and on and on and on. I'm still going. And on and on and on till I was 82.5 pounds, looking like a skeleton, begging for my life, you know, and to try to get help from being out there, from the trick, from the thief, from everything else that it took you through, and I had no control of none of it.
I've heard it like that what keeps you addicted is trying to get that same feeling that you got the very first time. I've heard that before. I've
Tell you something, Bishop.
I've heard that.
I can't describe how beautiful it felt. And that's the crazy part.
That's the enemy. That's what the enemy does. He when you first have it, that's anything. Anything. Not just drugs. Anything. Anything that's not of God, when the enemy gives it to you at first, it is fabulous.
Beautiful.
It makes you feel wonderful.
It was like La La Land.
Yes.
Like, man, and so like
you keep coming back at it, trying to get that initial feeling again.
I literally started chasing it from that time on because the mental part, he just pulled more and more and more my feelings and you know, now he like, I got her now. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's time to just kill her. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're going to die with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to kill you. You know, and I'm gonna make you my slave. I'm gonna make you my bee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make you do whatever I want want you to do, and it did just that. It made me forget who I am. It made me forget I had children. It made me forget I had family. You hear me?
Yeah.
It made me forget that people exist. I didn't care nothing about people. I did everything.
Wow.
You follow?
Yep.
Tracy Allen. Yeah, everybody know Tracy Allen. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing this in some people's face, but the mask that we wear becomes so real that we become genius at wearing masks. You know what I mean? Because we're liars.
Right.
So we could pretend, or we can make you think that it's that and think that it's this. I cry. I can make myself cry in a heartbeat. The whole 9 yards. I'm gonna snatch you. You know what I mean? And see, that's stealing from you too when we're lying to you and you're giving us.
Right.
You know, and some family members don't see that that's enabling us at the same time.
At the same time.
You know what I mean? But we lying, conniving, and stealing. You know, I may not have went in your pocket and took your money, but you went in your pocket and gave me your money, and I'm lying to you on false precepts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I give it up to my clients. I keep it real. I try to keep it real as I possibly can, and they understand it. So I call it our language. You know what I mean? I can't talk like you was talking. I got to throw some little demon words in there. You know what I'm saying?
But you reaching the people.
But I reach them. I reach them to where they're at. I reach them to where they're at. You know? And at the same time, I'm trying to still cleanse and fix myself too. You know what I mean? And that's working too, because I'm much better than I used to be. And there's no doubt about that. And as long as I pray and I ask God and I know He's there and real, it's a process. It just takes. It's time. But yeah, that first one, Bishop, that thing was like, but he can't fool me no more.
Can't fool you no more.
Because see, even today, after being clean, I know I'll never feel it now. If I started back, if I started back today, I would never get that hit again. It will take me right back to where I left off as I was dying. That's what it does, everybody. Hear me when I say that. When you pick back up, you be like, he worse than it was before, because that's how it works. That's what it does. You know what I mean? I don't care how much time you got or you had or you worked on. This thing is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It is truly cunning, baffling, and powerful. And it works through people, places, and things. And it's a process to getting clean. You know, you have to come to believe in this process. And you can't even believe in yourself. So just think about that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? How am I going to believe something? Hell, I don't even believe me. You know what I mean? I don't believe God. He did nothing for me. That's what I used to say.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I turned my back on him.
Wow.
You know? But with the help of other recovering addicts, helped me to turn my back and give him my full attention. And that was Lavert Todd, John Reed, and Doc Watson.
Wow.
And my sister Cheryl.
Wow.
They got my attention.
Wow.
And they turned me back around.
Wow.
And they taught me how to pray. I didn't know how to pray.
Wow.
Yeah, I prayed as a little girl. Went to church every Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, my mother had us in church all week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My mother was God-fearing.
Okay.
You know? And when I went, I'm going to confess, you know the tray they used to send around with the money in it?
Yeah.
I used to be taking quarters.
Wow.
I used to be taking quarters, going to Miss Christine's store, getting cookies or Pepsi. Until I went to Bethany Baptist Church with my sister Diana and her friend. And you know they used to have the little envelopes in there, right? I took one out and then I was all happy. I didn't know what was in it. And I showed my sister. They went, oh, the devil gonna get you. Never did I take another dollar out that tray. And I went right back up there and put it back in the tray. My sister said, you better put it back. The devil gonna get you. You know, as a kid, you're scared of the devil. Right. I wouldn't put it back. See, I was bad then. The devil was trying to take me then. You know what I'm saying? As it did. It did take me then. Right. You know why I say that, Bishop? Because my father was abusive. My father was I learned through recovery that my father was a functional alcoholic. Right. And all I saw was violence and fighting, you know, with my mom. And he was never around and left us bad. You know what I mean? And I pray and ask God not to let him come in. I used to call him the monster. Let him come in and want to fight my mom, you know, and beat us and sit us all in corners and darks and all that kind of stuff. But he did it anyway. So that as a child didn't allow me to think that God loved me enough.
I hear you.
Or, you know, he listened to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I hated my father for a long time until I got in recovery. Okay. And recovery taught me how to forgive him. For me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I did. Okay. And when my father was dying, or I had some time with him, you know, ahead of time, you know, before he passed, I loved my father because I know that the Bible said, love thy mother and father. My mom used to say that all the time. She was an awesome mom. Okay. You know, she never taught us to hate him and wouldn't let us talk about him either. Right. Okay. Yeah, she was that. She gave it to God. Right. And when he passed, I wasn't hurt. Okay. You know, like everybody expected for me to be because it's my father. You know, I just prayed that God accepted him in heaven. Right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. From learning in religion and, you know, like you have to come clean. You know? To me, that's how I used to think about it. Right. You know, but again, like I said, we all God's children, and he knew not what he was doing. I do understand that, and I know that, and I love my father. Right. You know, I say I wasn't in love with him. Okay. You know? Okay. I wasn't in love with him, but I love him. You know, in a great special way. Okay. But just not to say that, like when I lost my son, or when I lost my mom, you know, and my sister, that was unconditional. Yeah. You know, so, and he named my son, believe it or not. Oh, wow. My father named my son, Salim Bazir Allen. My father named him because he was into he knew his Bible and everything. My father knew all that. He was into all that, but biblical. And my son was just like him. He always read. He always, you know, on that part, always loved the history. Yeah, history. My father was a Mason and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So he had a lot of this, just alcohol. That thing is cutting, baffling, and powerful. I'm telling you, it's alcohol. That gin, that man couldn't live without gin. Yeah. He told me, he said, Trotsky, my dad used to call me Trotsky. He said, Trotsky, if they take my gin from me, I'ma die. They took the gin from my father. And he died. And my dad died. Yep. Wow. He knew. Wow. Because his body, and he was a thin man, but his body, he was a functional man. My dad drove a tractor trailer all my life of knowing it. Wow. Yeah, and but for the grace of God, he never hit nobody, never crashed, none of that. Wow. Tell me God ain't good. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah. I know that's right. You know, I got to thinking about all that kind of stuff after the fact. You know, now that I'm a grown-up woman. Okay. And I found a new self. You know, to know how to love and care for people. Even when they did me dirty. You know what I mean? Today, a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it real. Because they know I'm real. You know what I mean? But I forgive them. I forgive them all. The so-called uncles and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I forgive them all. You know, because they got to meet. Yep. And the forgiveness is for you. That's right. It's forgiveness so you can continue on. So I have. Yeah. And I do to this day, and I'm not mad no more. Yeah, let it go. I'm not even mad about it. I let it go. Yeah. Because it held me hostage. Right. You know? Right. And that's with all of us, y'all. So sometimes, you know, things could have happened long time ago, and the scapegoat was to feel good. Getting high made you feel good until it made you feel bad. Right. You know, it wasn't a scapegoat. So I know we're getting to that time, and I want to thank Bishop. Thank you. For this awesome episode. You. Yes. I'm going to keep this thing running for a minute. What about y'all? Let's show Bishop some hearts. That's for sure. Bless you. If anybody will donate any amount of money, I would appreciate that. You know, it's all going in good hands, and for a good cause. You know, so I'd appreciate that. And I left the Cash App on the comments. Again, y'all, I have some other awesome guests that's going to come and sit on the old girl, you know, along with me, you know. Ain't it comfortable?
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
Me too. It is all people like, I don't know. Look, when you get on, it's going to become natural.
Natural.
It's going to become
just
natural.
having a conversation.
That's all. Say it again. That's all we're doing is having a conversation of some good information and education,
That's right.
you know, to help everybody. And I say are still suffering, you know, or suffering addicts or alcoholics or shoppers or gamblers or smokers.
All
the above.
There you go.
You know, and I literally base this off of completely drug and alcohol. But when I found that people, I realized that, you know, a lot of people have discovered other issues that they have, mental health and depression.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I love anybody who works in the field, deals with that type of situation, is all welcome to the couch. That's why I bring the different people on, so it can help people in different ways. Because if you have a depression or you have a mental health and an addiction, you have to fix these things first. You have to get them balanced, you know, in order to work on your addiction and your recovery. I told y'all this is a hard process, you know, and it's worse and harder for some than it is others. You know, and we definitely need that spiritual part. Absolutely, because you hyped me up today. You taught me a whole lot tonight, and you was hitting points anytime you was describing to me with the Bible. And in the same ways that I'm doing things, that means I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, you are.
You know, and I promised God that I would do that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And I thank you for that.
No problem.
I thank you for that. You know, so with that, y'all, you know, I'm just going to say my quick little prayer, and I guess Bishop will say one too. And mine is 3 lines. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference for Bishop.
Wow. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Walk with God, and God will walk with you.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So see everybody next week. Don't forget, 7 o'clock, sharp. Tracy Allen, Living on Tree. And I'm going to get my theme music to get on this thing without me having to do this, y'all. I'm working on that thing because that's a beautiful theme song my niece did for me. But I will see y'all, and thank you so much. And all who have sent stars tonight and donation. Thank you so very much.
God bless.
Until next week.